Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we are going to conduct lecture number 37 of our course, and today's topic is counter programming. So let's understand what is counter programming. Okay, before we go and understand what is a counter programming, let's first of all highlight some of the facts that we have already learned in timer programming. So we actually have been calculating values, initial values for timer 0L and timer 0H and timer 0 control for certain amount of delay. Then timer started, then timer increments its value or counts up uh, at every clock, right, which was provided from internal clock of microcontroller. Then it arises to its maximum value, then rollover point occurs where it will reset to the 0 0 values, and then we turn off the timer, right? And what would have been happened that in meanwhile the required delay which we wanted to produce is already produced, right? So that was the basic step which were involved in timer programming. So we will be exploiting same timer, for example timer 0, because we have been using timer 0 of PIC18F452 microcontroller in timer programming. So we will be using same timer 0 in counter programming, and most of the steps will be similar, but the fact is different, that here we are not generating any amount of delay, rather we are waiting for one count to expire. For example, one is interested to count the number of pulses which are fed to certain input pin, right? Or for example, number of people to be entered in certain area, and we want to count them, and once that limit one certain limit achieved, so we will stop the counting and send an alarm, okay, number of people are already entered, or desired number of people are already entered. So this is what we do using counter, or that is why it is also known as event counter, because it counts up within certain event, right? So that is what we do counter programming, and counter programming will be utilizing timer programming, right? So the one can say that counter programming can also be uh, named as event counter programming or simple event counter. So we are going to discuss what is event counter and what is how one can actually program it. Basically we will be programming timer 0 again, but this time we will be calculating certain events or counting certain events, right? So let's see what we have here. Okay, let's say due to COVID-19 situation, number of persons which can be entered is limited to certain number. For example, maximum people 20 can stay in a classroom. And let's monitor the number of person entering in a classroom when this number becomes equals to 20, microcontroller will show an alarm using a red LED which is connected to RC2. So this is a scenario, or a very perfect scenario, in which you can actually count the number of people entering in the class using the counter, or using counter 0, or using timer 0, but you will be operating this time timer 0 in counting mode, right? So what we have to do, okay, so number of people to be counted is around 20, and we know that we are going to utilize timer 0 as a counter. So now source will be applied externally, or you can say the people who are getting entered will be connected or will be sensed by a sensor, and then that sensor will be providing a clock. It will actually go from low to high or high to low, right? So it will generate a clock, or it will generate a low to high or high to low pulses, and those pulses will be fed to RA4 pin. Remember, RA4 pin is a clock source, or is used as source, uh, external source for the timer 0. So timer 0 will be connected, sorry, RA4 pin will be connected to the sensor which is sensing the number of people to be entering inside the room. And then whenever a pulse from low to high, that means we are working on a positive edge. So whenever a people get enter into the class, so there will be a low to high pulse will be generated, and it will become again 0. So every time a person enter into the class, low to high pulse will be generated, and low to high pulse will be treated as a clock source. So timer will count up, or counter will count up, right? So we need to count up to 20. So you know that 20 is what? 20 is a number which can easily represented by 8 bits. So we do not need to use counter or a timer in the 16-bit mode. Rather, we will be using it in a 8-bit mode, right? So we will define our uh, timer 0 control register value. For example, timer 0 control, the very first pin, if you remember, it is equal to timer is on and off. So right now it will be off. Then the next bit is basically timer 0 8 bit. So right now we will be utilizing it in 8-bit mode, so it will be equal to 1. That means will be operating in 8-bit mode. Then we need to tell us whether the source is external or internal. This time we are not using the microcontroller's clock, rather we are using the external clock which is provided by RA4 pin. So we will be using external clock. Again, there will be a selection of positive age and negative age. Since I already explained you, we will be working on positive age, so we will consider here 0. There is no need of prescaler in counter, especially when you are not interested to count up or count down using phrase scaler, because we are not generating any maximum delay. This can be used in counter, but we are using a very simple application. So I will be disabling prescaler, so I will put 1 here. Since prescaler is disabled, the remaining 3 bits are meaningless now, but you can actually make 1 or 0, it's your choice. So I'm going to make them 0, so 3 bits are zeros. So if I'm going to convert it into hexadecimal, it becomes 0110, that means it is 6, and 1000, that means it is 8 hex, right? So the value for timer 0 control is equal to 68 hex. Now we need to decide the value for timer 0L and timer 0H. We know that timer values are feeded into these two registers. One is called timer 0L, certain value would be feeded, right? And then timer 0H, certain value would be feeded. What do you think? We will be using timer 0H or not? Yes, you are right. We won't be using it because it's an 8-bit number. We will need only timer 0L register. Only timer 0L will be used, and timer 0H won't be utilized because we are not considering a 16-bit mode, right? Just we are going to enter, or we are going to use timer 0L register. So let's calculate the values of timer now. Okay, this is the formula that we are going to use. Initial value, how we can calculate the initial value of timer using the formula initial value is equal to maximum count minus timer count plus 1. So initial value would become equals to what? Any maximum count. In maximum count, we are using timer in 8-bit mode, so maximum count will be 255 minus timer count. We want to count it to up to 20, so we will put it 20. It's quite simple. It's well directly given timer count. You do not need to calculate using the delay, because we are not generating any delay, rather we are counting it. So the timer count is directly given in your question. Then plus 1 due to rollover, so what it will become? 255 minus 20, that would become 235, plus 1 it will become 231. So sorry, 236, right? So this is the count at which we will start, and timer will actually arrive up to the value of 255, and then eventually it will strike 256, which means it will be rolling over, right? So let's perform. Now we have the values of timer 0L. So let's put the values of timer 0L. Timer 0L would be should value should be what? 236, 236, and that should be in decimal. Remember, that should be in decimal. I'm not converting it into hexadecimal because I do not need to convert it into hexadecimal. I can simply perform this calculation using uh, decimal number system. So I will load the value of timer 0L D20 D236, and then it will count up to 20, which through which it will become 256, and then rollover point will occur, and uh, we will generate an alarm to using RC2 pin. So I have written the code for you. So let's discuss the first line. BCF press C comma RC2. This is this pin which is going to be connected with the alarming LED. So this pin is going to be output pin. Then BSF press A comma RA4. I'm just using this line intentionally I do not need to write it, because by default every pin is in input mode, but I wanted to show you that RF4 pin is going to be used as input pin, which is connected to source or sensor, which will be sending uh, low to high pulses uh, from the entering gate, right? And then move little to working 68 hacks. This is the value of timer 0 control that we calculated earlier. And move little to working 236, and that we move into timer 0 L byte, because we are using only it in 8-bit mode. So these are this is just output and input configuration. This is the loading of various values inside the timer 0 registers. And then what we are doing, BCF interrupt control timer 0 IF, we are intentionally making timer 0 IF flag equal to 0, so that once timer expires or once rollover occur, we will be notified by it. And then we start our timer. That is the start of our timer. BSF timer 0 control comma timer 0 on bit. That means we are starting our timer, and then we continuously check whether the rollover has occurred. And when this rollover will happen, this rollover will happen when 20 people would have entered. Remember the calculation, the initial count is 236, so 236 plus 20, if we make it plus 19, that means one entry is remaining, so it will become 255, which is the maximum value. And when we will enter the 20th person, what is going to happen, 255 will switch to the reset value, which means rollover will occur, and then this if flag would become equal to 1, and we will come out of this loop. And then what we are doing, we are actually turning on our this specific LED, right, by providing port C comma RC2 comma is equal to 1, right? Here one can actually ask a question that I'm not turning off the timer. It becomes meaningless in this specific location. You can actually turn it off, but it won't do anything, because you have already come out of the loop and you have already triggered the LED, right? So if it's your choice, if you want to turn off the timer, it won't make any difference in this specific application. But in timered applications where we need to turn off the timer, otherwise we won't be having the exact amount of delays. So in that specific case, you need to turn off the timer. uh, but in the counter programming, you don't need to do it, right? Or you can actually ignore it. If you do it, it won't make any difference. If you don't do it, it won't make any difference. That is why I'm skipping that option, or I'm skipping that step. I'm not turning off timer, just going to my RC2 LED, and I'm just turning it on, right? So I hope you have understand the counter programming. It's almost similar what we have learned in timer programming. If you have any question, you can post your uh, comments in comment section. Okay, that's it from this lecture. Thank you so much for listening.